start.
Who here feels like they have any influence over Washington politics? When was the last time you were motivated to go up to D.C. and protest in front of the White House for something? Healthcare, war in Libya. None of us really have any influence. Well, we have 1 in like 320 million influence as a voter. But here in Texas, if we want to protest something or put out our opinion, we just walk down the street to the Capitol. You get 20,000 of us down there. We've made the news. We're a pretty big hit. We can probably change a policy. This is why states' rights are so important to all of us, is because we have a larger voice in our local democracy, in our local government. On the federal level, we don't have very much of a voice. And that's why I'm going to be speaking about states' rights today. They're important. I'm going to go over the problem, which is current national issues, their cause, which is the federal government, and the solution, which is the individual states. And I've researched this topic pretty extensively, and I feel confident in my analysis that as voters, we should try to minimize federal government interaction in social policies. The current problem is federal debt. We have $14.2 trillion of federal debt. Most of this comes from social programs that the federal government has implemented. We also have social policies combined with foreign policies when we're voting for a president. Why is national health care being on the same level of issue as how we use our military in Libya? Why is gay rights also contributed to the same person that we're voting for if we're going to invade Iraq? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me to be voting for the same, gay rights is overshadowing how we use our militaries at times, or healthcare will overshadow how we use our military. And according to the Constitution, the president should only focus on how we deal with our foreign affairs. Also, the country's diversity is being ignored. Every time a social policy is implemented on the federal level, every single state has to abide by it. This is whether they're conservative, whether they're liberal. It's forcing a streamline across the country that most states don't want. They want to be diverse. They want their own ways of life. Who's here actually has been to another state? Most of you? Was it anything like Texas? It's pretty different across the board. You go to Virginia, it doesn't even feel like the same country. You go to New York, do you guys feel connected to the people in New York? I know I don't. I've never been there, but every single state has its own individuality, and that's the beauty of it. And the cause right now is the federal government. It's a monopoly. There's really no competition for it. If it makes a policy, it sticks to that policy for quite some time. It's very hard to change. Every time you have a monopoly, it creates a lot of financial waste. This has been shown in the Social Security program. None of us are going to be able to partake of that. It's been going for a while. We're paying for our grandparents. It's going to die by the time we get to any remote age, probably in 10, 15 years. Also, according to the Constitution, the federal government's outgrown its constitutional boundaries. And the original founders didn't expect us to have to choose between gay rights or a war in Iraq, or being hard on crime or healthcare. These were policies that were limited to your local government, where you have a larger say, and not towards the federal government. That just streamlined the entire thing. Even Bush, when he implemented the No Child Left Behind Act, did sweeping change throughout the country. Sounds like a good program. No Child Left Behind, that's what it's called. A lot of states thought it was a waste of money. Their schools were already great. They've got good grades, they've got good programs. Now they're forcing money that they could have used on roads into a program that they didn't need. Every single state's a little bit different. They have their own problems. Washington politicians don't understand the local problems. Like I said again, even Bush, Obama, none of them truly understand each problem in each local democracy. So the solution is each 50 separate states. They're more adept to the local needs, and each state is unique. They compete for businesses and people, which will boost the economy. They're a testing ground for new policies. Some states have already implemented healthcare laws that stay within their budgets and benefit everybody. And foreign policy can be the focus of the federal government. When we vote, we can vote on how our president treats the rest of the world. Leave it to that. How do they use our military? He's the commander-in-chief for a reason. And in conclusion, you can email or call your federal politicians, tell them that you support states' rights. You can vote for political leaders who vote for states' rights. And remember, you don't have to vote for the same party on the federal level and on the state level. If you are a liberal, vote. Right now it's conservative, or supports states' rights. Then you can vote liberally on the local level, and you can still get gay rights, or you can have pro-choice. It's all limited to the local democracy. That's the beauty of it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.